all the time attracted by these rounded shapes in the bags, like the bucket bags. And we were like, we someday we are going to create something like this, but the thing is that we make it like a real character or personality, which is the lining coming out and being here like as a flower or as a gift or as a chocolate box. So it's something that for me is I'm very proud of us to like create something that is not new at all, but is different in the way we build or create this bag.
Hi everyone, welcome to another Melting Pot episode. There is something about actually stepping into a real workshop, which is where I am at the moment in Barcelona. You know, when you see tools that are smooth with use, the smell of leather in the air, and I get that very, very distinctly, and the quiet rhythm of someone who's deeply in their craft. So today I'm here in this very, very interesting workshop, and I am in conversation with Felipe Rubiano, who is the founder of the workshop and of the brand. And he also has a partner. His name is Alejandro.
Yes.
And Alejandro is very shy, and he's somewhere in the background. He doesn't really want to be a part of this conversation. But anyways, nice to have met you as well, Alejandro. So Felipe is a Colombian, and he has built a life and a legacy through the art of leather work. So he creates every bag by hand. He's got artisans who help him with it now. And there is a story of tradition, inspiration, migration, and deep creative intention with every single bag that Felipe creates. So, Felipe, can you walk me through the process of creating one of your leather bags from the concept to the finished product? And then we're going to talk about why and how you decided to move from Colombia to Spain.
Well, first of all, I'm very happy to be here with you in this interview. Thank you for believing our project, Payal. It's very important that also people give us the value as a brand or creative to keep doing it. So for me, this is a very special thing that is happening. And talking about the processes when we are creating a bag, it always comes from inspiration. So we are very open to observe everything around us to get that inspiration, and then we transform that into drawings or sketches, and then we start doing the prototypes to see how those drawings can get into reality. And it's there when we can apply part of the knowledge with leather, all the craftsmanship. When we are creating the prototypes is where it gave more value. And yeah, we have different kind of prototypes when we are creating something new, and also working with the artisans, because I'm designer and my partner is architect, so we are very involved into the design part. But when you are doing the prototypes, you are going to work hand by hand with the artisans, and they are actually the people that really knows and understand how to build the product. So it's very important, that connection, and it's something that you can do when you do something that is made by hand, with craftsmanship behind, with knowledge of people that have years working in this area. So yeah, this is mainly some of the parts, sketches, being open to see everything around to get that inspiration, and then work with the artisans.
Okay, so from Colombia to Spain,
Yes.
what and how did you actually make that journey? What was the reason behind that journey? And how many years ago was
The
this?
story it's very like fun now that I realize all that happened in these years, because I came here 7 years ago because I won a scholarship to study in Spain.
Okay.
I was studying in Colombia product design. This is my degree, and I came here because I won that scholarship to came here for 1 semester in Valencia city, and I studied there product design as well. But the fun fact about this situation is that I start a brand being in Colombia before coming to Spain, and it was about making laptop cases or sleeves.
And what was the name of the brand? And
it was another name, Punta Gallinas,
okay.
which is a like part of Colombia. It's a very like nice part in La Guajira, which is the north of Colombia, and it's a very inspiring place to me because of the color, textures, and many things. So that's why I decided that name. Actually, the logo is the same. So this is the fun part of the story. It's the same logo than Surarquía, and I start that project because I was coming to Spain and I need like to have like some money. So I just think about some product that I can create and sell in Colombia with my friends and family at the university mainly. And yeah, I moved then here to study in Valencia, and that journey like allowed me to think different and like be more focused on the things that I really want to create in the future. Because when I came here, I started like working as a graphic design, but I was always passionate about like leather and bags. So I started like doing my path like step by step, like thinking in the idea of my brand. Like someday I want to build something like it's mine. And then when I meet Alejandro, my partner, and
so you basically put your heads together because your expertise was in the design part of it, and his is, as you mentioned, he's an architect. So I think a combination of both.
It's powerful.
It's very, very powerful. And then you're able to transmit that to creating designs that are really, really inspirational for you. So can you, because I've been to your store and I absolutely love your bags, and I can see that there's one bag sitting right next to both of us. So first I want you to talk a little bit about how you came up with the name of your brand, if there is a story to that, which I'm sure there will be. So, and then a little bit about, like taking this bag as an example, a little bit about how you got the idea and what really went behind creating this one particular piece, for example.
Okay, let's start about the name, Surarquía. It's very special because it has a real like meaning for us. It's a new word that we create, and is.
So it doesn't otherwise have a meaning?
No. Oh. Like this word before Surarquía brand do not have like not meaning because it have a meaning, but it do not exist before. So we just like put together two words with is sur, that means south.
South,
because we both come from the south of America and we live here in the south of Europe, so that was the connection with the south. Alejandro being Venezuelan and me being Colombia from South America. And arquía is a word that means power in Latin. So this like new word means the power of the south, which is very like powerful because it gives to us not only the power but also the essence of who we are, like two people coming from the south, living in the south, getting a lot of our inspiration from those like warm and southern places, like in America, like here in Europe. Being in the Mediterranean, the south of Europe, is also very inspirational for us. So this is the meaning of the word.
Okay, interesting.
And talking more about specifically this bag and the way we build bags is, of course, always like thinking how to transform leather into a piece of art. And in particular, this one we have here is a combination of materials, which is something that we really love to do. You know, taking the time to think about the textures, also different materials depend of the season. For example, this bag is create with this natural raffia or material for summer. So we combine also the details in leather for the rivets, the borders, the little laces here in the handle. So for us, like creating a bag is creating a whole universe of textures, colors, and making every part have a sense of being there. So yeah.
Okay, so this is your new creation.
This is
which is going to be launched in summer.
Yeah, in summer.
Okay.
So we normally used to do all these bags. Let me show you. We have one there that it's made like, you know, the whole piece in leather, which is actually what we normally do, which is this.
So this is all leather.
Yeah, this is all leather.
Yeah.
We work all the pieces with leather or parts in leather like this, but this is like the regular bucket bag we have done. And the inspiration of this bag, like coming to your question, it's very nice because we love to travel, Alejandro and I, so we have spent a lot of time like traveling around the world, in Europe, in America, in Asia, and we always like stop by the like big brands and the luxury shops. So we were all the time attracted by, you know, these rounded shapes in the bags, like the bucket bags, and we were like, someday we are going to create something like this. But the thing is that we make it like a real character or personality, which is the lining coming out and being here like as a flower or as a gift or as a chocolate box. So
yeah.
It's something that for me is I'm very proud of us to like create something that is not new at all,
yeah.
but is different in
yeah.
the way we build or create this bag.
So where do you source all your materials from?
All the materials we use now are from Spain mainly, but we also work with leathers from Italy.
From where?
Italy.
Italy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What we normally do is like make a research of what are the best suppliers in Europe, mainly because we are in Europe, so we want to make this like a local brand, like with local suppliers, local materials, and we always make a research to see where they are. We have been in multiples like big fairs, trying to find the people we want to work with, because for us it's very important to know the quality and the place where all these materials come from. So we are always into like going deep in the suppliers and people that we want to work with.
Okay, yeah. So this is also your way of making sure that, you know, the local products are used, the local material is used,
exactly.
So that you try and be as inclusive as possible. When did you open your store?
We opened the store 2 years ago.
Okay.
In 2023. We started the brand in 2021 after pandemic.
Yeah.
And we decided 2 years after having the brand open the store because we realized that people were more close to the brand when we were in design markets and where people can see the bags and touch the materials and we can tell the story.
So that's what actually encouraged you to start the store.
Yeah.
And what kind of a response, because it's a new brand, and at the moment you have just the one store, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that also makes it very unique and very special because you're not you're creating something from the heart, and it's very, very passionate about the way you sort of think about the ideas, your inspiration. So you don't want to for lack of a better word, you don't want to make it like common.
Mm-hmm.
You'd rather continue to be exclusive.
Yeah.
And I can see that, because also the location, for people who are not familiar with Barcelona, the location is literally in the center.
Yes.
And you can't miss the store, which is how I walked into it. So I feel that, the kind of response that people may have had walking into your store. Could you share some stories of people who walked in and were like really surprised, amazed, attracted, or whatever?
Like, yeah, like there is many stories about people coming to the store, but there is something that I really like feel that it's very inspiring for us. That it's when people come into the store and they think we are like a brand that have like many years, or there is someone big behind the brand. And when I say I'm the owner, I design, I create, I have my workshop, so it's everything really handcrafted, and the people is very surprised about that. And I realize like we are doing like things kind of well, because people think that all we have, which is a small store, but for us is, or it means a lot. And when people think that is also that big, for us it's like, wow, we are doing things well. So
yeah, and I think the quality is also so important, because you can walk into 10 different stores that sell bags, and then when you touch, the texture of the material, the look, the uniqueness of it is what probably, like, my personal experience is that's what attracted me to, and I'd never, I've been living in Barcelona, but I never noticed the brand before. Now I can understand why, because it's so new, right?
Yeah.
It's post the pandemic.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Colombia, and is there any kind of, the way you would approach, if you had come up with the idea of this brand in Colombia versus it being here in Spain, what are some differences or some similarities that you would have seen? Like, say for example, you have exactly the same store in Colombia, and you're creating, and you've got local artisans there, and in Spain. What are some of the
I
similarities?
think the best part of this, like creating a brand here in Spain, is of course getting advantage of all the things Spain have, like all the artisan knowledge, but we also have that in Colombia. So I'm like joining or putting together all this knowledge from there, because I started doing like quite similar things when I was there. And I also work there with artisans. I used to have like a little team also to create some of my laptop sleeves back in that time. And now I'm working here with people that also have another vision and another way to work. So it's very nice for Surarquía, because we can put all those knowledge together to create something very special. So we now have artisans from Colombia, from Spain. We work together and we create something that it's really like special, and you can see the difference.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I understand that this is what you're working on now, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be launched in the summer. I've noticed that in your store there's also some jewelry.
Yes.
And that looks like it's handcrafted jewelry as well.
It is.
So how did you expand, or how did you decide to also bring in jewelry
into the brand. Yeah,
into your brand. Yeah.
we were thinking about in a brand when we start the project more than just like creating bags. We want to create like products that have a story. We are very like into leather products because it's what we really know how to do. But we were also attracted to create like a ecosystem of products that can speak the same language. So that's why we start like working with artisans that create jewelry like in a handcrafted way.
And these artisans are from Barcelona?
Is here in Spain. We have another like partner that is in Madrid, and they help us to create, to turn into reality all our drawings and designs. And it's also handcrafted, which is the core of the brand.
Yeah.
Like being artisan, being like handmade, and we have this little collection of handcrafted jewelry which is inspired by the Caribbean and Mediterranean nature and silhouettes. Like it's full of magic because this jewelry is really detailed. We have like representation of animals or like plants, but in a very realistic way, and it's just something that you can create when you like make it handmade, because you can be focused on the details.
Yeah.
And also the texture is different. You can like see.
And what's the material that?
It's made of brass.
Brass, okay.
And it's covered with a gold plated of 24 carats, so it makes the pieces durable.
Yeah.
As our bags. So durability is something that is very important for us.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's an alloy of metals, which is brass.
Yeah.
That it's very easy to work by hand, so that's why.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Do you feel that in the next I'm sure there is some kind of a goal, there are some timelines that Alejandro and you have probably set for yourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is it going to be adding more designs? Is it going to be adding another store? What are some short-term and long-term goals that you have?
Like being an entrepreneur is changing your movements like every like month or week, because you need to react to the things that are happening around you. And when we opened the store, we were like, no, the store is working very well, we need to open another store. We were like trying to put all the pieces together now to really take a smart action, because now we want to expand the brand more like on internet than just being in stores and having stores around Barcelona or Spain. So we now want to be more
visible outside,
like being more active in social media. So that way more people can see us around the world.
So I'm assuming you have an online store
as well. So we also have the online store. We ship worldwide like every week, which is very nice, because when we started the brand 4 years ago, we have no like purchase.
Yeah.
And now we are like starting to sell to many different parts, and that make us the idea to keep working hard in that like channel, in the online on the website, the social media. So we are now more focused on that than just open stores.
Yeah, more physical.
And we want to have a real space that represents us.
Yeah.
And we already have it in Barcelona.
Yeah.
The store is an experience. The store is like the place to be of our bags, is like home. So I think more than thinking just only in business, I will open a store in, I don't know, every like big street in Barcelona or big city. Is like trying to do things very well. So being more focused on products.
Yeah, and also I think then the exclusivity will go.
Exactly.
If you try and replicate your store in multiple areas within Barcelona, I think it won't be as exclusive and
Exactly.
as special. So
That's right.
yeah, no, so I think, yeah, no, that's a good way forward. And the fact that I know before we started the conversation, you mentioned that you have a lot of people from the US and from
Puerto Rico.
from Puerto Rico,
Puerto Rico.
who, and I can understand that. It's got that vibe, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, the tote bag that I bought from you is also something which is so universal, and and it's something that, and I didn't bring it with me today. I should have actually, but it is something that you can carry with you. Informally, you can carry it with, you can carry it off quite. It stands out, let's put it that way. So no, I think it's very, very special, and I'm really, really happy that we've been able to have this conversation. Thank you so much, Felipe. This was like such a nice, easy conversation, and I'm sure a lot of young people will be inspired. People who are creative, who like to work with leather, and who are maybe even artisans, who will believe that yes, it's possible to do, it's possible to be inspired and to create. And I think there's no limit to creativity. And like you rightly said, as an entrepreneur, like every week, every month, you feel the pulse.
Yeah.
And because you're a creative person, you have ideas and you want to just get going with them. So no, I think that's wonderful. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much.
And I wish Alejandro as well. As an architect, I know his space in this business is also very, very crucial and important, and hopefully another time
maybe we can have another chat.
Exactly, and he may want to also jump into the conversation. So thank you so much. Okay, so this is where Felipe and Alejandro have their little workshop, and as you can see, I think there are multiple stations, and each station has an artisan that specializes in that particular piece of the bag or whatever it is that's being created. And it will be nice for Felipe to just give a little very quick overview on how the process actually works.
Like everything starts here where we cut the pieces. We have the leather just behind that door. We also have here some of the leftovers organized by colors, but we cut all the pieces here. But the most important parts happen in that tables where we build, or we just put together all the pieces to create a bag. And it's actually the most time we spend doing a bag, in the making. Not only in the sewing, we have 3 different sewing machines, but this is a process that is very quick in terms of time. It also requires a very deep knowledge of how to work with the machines. But the most important part happens here, where we build, when we put together everything, where all the details are done, where we paint all the borders. So this is the most important station. We also have some other stations like this one, where we stamp all the labels we use in our bags. And we have been working with this little machine for 4 years.
Oh,
we
wow.
also have now a new one, which is very big compared to the other one, but we still use the little one because it's very practical. So sometimes you want to step forward, and what you have is, if it's working, you need to keep it, and you need to try to improve it. But in this case, we still work with this, and with that, for big, or when we need to create more than 20 products.
Yeah.
But
super.
yeah, everything we make here, it's
And how many bags in a month are you able to actually produce?
we have like a goal that it's create like 30 pieces per month, which means like one bag per day. And we work in like batches of 10 bags for a model, and we try to produce like 10 bags every week or every like 10 days, because we are like a real small workshop or atelier, so we need to create everything by hand mostly. So yeah, it takes time, definitely. And yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. That's
Thank you.
that's very nice to actually, like I feel so much a part of it. And just exploring and just seeing, because the end product is so different, and
Yeah.
the amount of work that goes into it is just fascinating.
So it's nice that every product have the story behind
Yeah.
of being here, the workshop, being creative, being working with the artisans, with all these handcrafters that make the product is real.
Yeah.
So when you buy a bag that is handcrafted, you are buying the whole story behind that.
Yeah, no, thank you for actually
Thank
letting
you.
me step into this world of yours. Thank you
Gracias.
so much. Gracias. Gracias, Felipe.